Hello and welcome to another episode of the Construction Corner podcast. I'm Dylan, I'm your host. And today, guys, we are going to be talking about the biggest factors that contribute to downfall for engineering firms, especially in times when things get busy, right? When projects really start taking off, when things get super busy for you, your firm, your team, all of these can slip through the cracks. So we want to cover those three biggest challenges and factors that really contribute to a firm's downfall, if you will. One is not having or keeping your templates updated. So over time, things change, codes change, the environment change, the way that you do drawings changes, your drafting standards change. And so it's important to update your templates for whether they're for clients or for your firm as a whole. And so with that, we want to make sure that as things change, as they develop, as they differ, that we update our templates. You know, I know things get busy, but having the documentation to note it, document it, and complete those updates to your templates are huge deals to keep projects moving, to keep standards updated, and to really maintain the quality of drawings that your clients expect to receive from you and your firm. So templates are a really, really big one. Number two is you're too busy to pay attention to the details. So what I mean by this is I was talking to some guys today and they overlooked like controls, for example, on some set of drawings. And so because they didn't have controls, they approved drawings without controls on a set of fixtures, or, you know, not the controls that they wanted. They're now going to have to do a lot of work in the field because they effectively approved stuff that they didn't ultimately want, right? They didn't overlook the drawings. Somebody in their office approved it. And it wasn't what they needed or wanted for the project. So stuff like this is super important, that it's a little detail, but it becomes a major problem in the field. And so we want to make sure that we continue to pay attention to the details. We slow down, we take our time. Like today, for example, I was doing some arc flash and coordination studies for electrical safety, you know, those labels that go on electrical equipment. And as I was doing that and putting a report together, I probably ended up doing it multiple times because I kept noticing every time you go to print and you review drawings, as happens to be the case typically, is you print it, look at it, and you notice different things. So I kept noticing, oh, okay, this needs to change. Oh, well, because this breaker's set this way, we can actually adjust a few other things, make this a little safer operation during normal procedures. We'll take care of these higher incident energy levels with the maintenance switch, and understanding that the energy levels are going to reduce with the maintenance switch, but that's not how we're going to label it. We're going to label it with the worst case and not turning on the maintenance switch. But if you do turn on the maintenance switch, here's what those results are going to look like. So again, some of this is just taking the time to really slow down, to paint the right picture for folks, to make sure you're doing things correctly, and then sending it out appropriately. You know, making sure you're following up with everybody, making sure that you're doing your part within a project to make it successful. And sometimes that just takes doing it over and over and over again until it's right, and then you send out a great finished product. So just pointing that out, guys. You know, for this particular project that I'm doing an arc flash study for, I went on site, noticed a couple of things that weren't quite how they should be. They differed, you know, it caused me to redo the study. We got a couple things verified from the manufacturer. And so again, it's just incorporating all those details back into a report that gets issued, labels that get put on equipment. We want to make sure that we're doing that right. So again, super important of what we're doing, and making sure that we pay attention to those details. In construction, pretty much every detail matters in some way, shape, or form. So we just want to make sure that we're getting all of those details taken care of. And the last one that I want to talk about here today is, in light of like tariffs and pricing and everything that you see in the news, we have a lot of folks that have not been making decisions, or they're now at a place of indecision. And that place of indecision really gets to where it starts to become debilitating. And last week we talked about just make decisions and move, make decisions and go, because far too often we're not making timely decisions. We're stalling on projects. The thing that we want to get done is going to get done anyway. Price is only going to go up. So make your decisions, move, get in line, make sure that, especially with construction projects, sooner you make decisions, the sooner equipment gets ordered, the sooner things fall into line, the better off we're going to be at the end of the project, because of making those decisions. Right now, all the contractors can allocate resources to it. We can place orders for equipment. We can get, again, pricing's only going to go up. So placing an order today is going to be better than placing one tomorrow. And we keep moving forward. And so a lot of people get frozen by this fear of indecision or fear of making a decision and being wrong, when again, you're going to pay for a project. Understand that pricing's just going to go up. And so long as you don't have too many people messing up the process, then you're going to be just fine. And this kind of ties into a bonus number 4 here that I'm going to cover today is, don't run your firm like a law firm. And what I mean by that is, in engineering and construction, we might want to run things like who's at fault, who's to blame, who can we blame for this, that, or the other thing. When if you just do a good job, just continue to deliver, to execute, to do what you can to meet deadlines and milestones for your projects, the better off everybody is going to be. Then you're not in basically anxiety and frustration mode of trying to figure out who's to blame. You're not yelling at everybody. You're not having a culture of pointing fingers, and you can just get work done. Everybody likes getting work done. Nobody likes getting yelled at for not getting work done. Nobody likes not being under budget. Nobody likes, or nobody likes being over budget, right? Everybody wants to be under budget. Everybody wants to be on time. Everybody wants to deliver a great product. And so the more that you can do that in your firm, whether you're a contractor, an engineer, an architect, doesn't matter, do good work, help people out. And really, the more that you can do that, the more that you can be a great person in construction, a great architect, a great engineer, a great contractor, a great craftsman, the happier everybody is going to be. Everyone's going to want to work on your projects. Everybody's going to want to be around you. And it just makes life so much easier. So I know this is a quick episode today, guys. These are kind of the 4 big top things on my mind that I think people really get wrong. And especially when things get busy, like I am slammed right now. I've put out like 3 or 4 projects today, arc flash study, couple small fire alarm projects, put out some stuff for controls and lighting packages, dealt with some field issues. And that was just today, plus followed up on a bunch of sales items and clients, as well as, helping people with software. So at the end of the day, like I got a lot going on, and I get that we all get busy, right? And when we get busy, we're not updating our templates. When we get busy, we're not paying as much attention to the details. And then that's going to come back to bite us later. When we get busy, we put off making decisions when we pretty much know what we want to do and how we want to move forward. And then this is not necessarily a busy thing. It's just be a good person thing. And don't act like a lawyer. Don't act like everything is about blaming people. Yes, do you need to document stuff and, make sure everything's papered and you're keeping track of who said what, when, right? And typical construction meetings and notes and follow-ups and all that kind of good stuff. Yes, do that. But at the end of the day, like people want projects to be completed. People want projects to move forward. And that's what I found in my experience. That's why clients keep coming back to me, that we keep doing work for. And honestly, it's been super great to have that type of interaction with clients and do good work. Is you just keep doing good work, and that makes everybody happier. So those are my 4 things that you can do to really help your firm move forward, especially when you get busy, you're slammed with projects, you got a lot going on, you get pulled in a ton of different directions, is to slow down a little bit, take a deep breath, make a list, figure out what you're going to get done today, make sure those things get done, and then move on to tomorrow. So, thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate all of your support of the podcast. And if you haven't, I haven't asked for this in a long time, go ahead and rate and review the podcast, please. Just give us a 1 5-star rating, whatever you choose to give us for this podcast. Leave a review, and we'd be much appreciative of your reviews on iTunes, Spotify. So, guys, thank you so much for listening to another episode of the Construction Corner podcast. Until next time.